It seems like some real progress has been achieved today in Syria, because in the city of Homs, what it used to be the capital of the revolution, where back in 2011 the protest against Assad began in this city, well, now we know that the rebels have signed a ceasefire agreement with the government to vacate this city, Homs. 2,000 fighters, Margaret, are going to leave this Ware district of the Homs city with their families, allowing the government to take control of the area, hoping that with the ceasefire, we're going to start having some more talks. Now, this didn't come from airstrikes from the United States, but like you know, and I know you feel that way, it might have to do something with the Russian campaign.
There's no question. Look, peace talks are great, and it's good when they work, but there's some motivation behind these peace talks, and Russian diesel-electric submarines are operating submerged underneath the Mediterranean. They're hitting these targets right and left, and they're destroying, they're almost doing an ethnic cleansing, and it's frightening, and nobody wants this, Jose. So whatever the motivation is for these peace talks, and everybody knows that the Russians are hitting rebels, the fact that they came to the table and they're willing to sign an agreement and vacate so that, you know, Assad's authority can resume, the motivation behind that might have something to do with these Russian strikes.
I agree with you. It's something that we've been reporting from the get-go, from the first moment Russia started deploying these airstrikes again, according to ISIS. We pointed out that actually the locations where these airstrikes were happening, mainly Homs, was targeting rebels. And now we see the consequence. Now we see the reality of the Russian involvement in this conflict. They were supporting the agenda to the point that we only have 2,000 fighters that decided that it's a better choice to walk away from the fight, to remove this regime, instead of enduring this massacre from not only the Russians, but everyone that now getting involved and bombing Syria and destroying 250,000 people have died since the beginning of the conflict. This is according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. This is the same source that we got this story from, Rami Abdel Rahman. He's based in the UK, and he's been following this very, very closely. And he just informed also that they are literally bossing out these rebels out of Homs immediately throughout the day. They're
not being tried. You know, it's the only surprising caveat for me in this story is that Assad is not holding them accountable for any war crime, that the government's letting them go, that it is a ceasefire, if you will. And this is the way peace talks should go. So we're going to agree to disagree. But the fact that they have to vacate and they can no longer, you know, take that city or live in that city, perhaps there will be some reunification once a solid government is in place, regardless of the government. You would think.
Assad has been open to talk with the UN about the transition of power, but at the same time he has really, really big allies with Russia behind him, using all this military power to shift the power level in the region, because up to the point where Russia started bombing Syria, the rebels were advancing in this city and other cities around. So there's a clear relationship in between the military power of Russia bombing this area and the rebels deciding to fold and agree with Assad to a ceasefire agreement that is going to vacate 2,000 fighters away from the area.